Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been around 2 months since the last time that I was able to film something here in my office, and honestly speaking with you, I'm happy to be able to film something, let's say, in a calm environment. In these 2 months here, not a lot is changed. The plant is growing big and strong. I've added some panels here and around the room because I'm trying to improve the quality of the audio. And also the number of the trophies is growing, which is also good. So thank you for joining this Q&A. Thank you for sending me your questions. If you have missed it, I announce it here with a post on YouTube and also with a post and a story on my Instagram profile. So if you're not subscribed to my Instagram profile, I suggest you to do it, because in case if I'm going to announce another Q&A, there are going to be less possibility to miss it. For today's Q&A, I'm going to answer in the best possible way, basing the answers on my own experience, and I hope that the information that I'm going to share with you are going to be useful. Okay, let's start. What suspensions do you use? Okay, I use two kind of dampers, one for off-road rallies and the other ones for on-road rallies. For the off-road rallies I use the longer one, Tamiya big bore aeration dampers, but not using Tamiya springs, but the softest X-ray springs, which are the X-ray 368182. And talking about the on-road dampers that I use Tamiya big bore dampers, but there are some kind of big bore dampers, and I'm using the longest ones, which are the Tamiya 42354. And with these dampers I'm using the red spring from Tamiya, which is quite soft, but I'm trying to find even something softest than these ones. So if you have some suggestions, please write them in the comments. How much does the body affect performance? Let's say that in my opinion in RC Rally the body is not that much important, but of course a heavier body that it's also quite high is going to decrease the performances of our chassis, especially the handling in the corners. With a heavy body that is also high, you are going to notice that the car rolls more in the corner, and it's easier to lose the grip. So my suggestion in general is to try to choose lighter bodies if you can, but it's not so much important. In my opinion, it's more enjoyable to choose, let's say, a heavier body, but at least a body that you like I did for 2 seasons with the Lancia Delta S4. That body is quite big and large. Is not the best for handling, but we are talking about minimum details. How much does the machine weigh? So my Tamiya XV01 weighs about 1 kg and 400 grams. But what's important is to balance the weight in a good way. What I mean, in Tamiya XV01 we have a lot of weight in the front because of the engine, so I did my best to put a part of the weight on the rear, putting the battery here, the electronics here, and if you're able to see here I added 30 grams of weights. Czy lubisz pierogi? Pierogi are, let's say, the Polish dumplings. Yes, I really love them, but my favorite Polish dish is żurek. I find a lot of dirt inside the car. What can I do? I think that I'm going to show you something that I did for my Tamiya XV01. Let's see where it is. So you can buy the PVC, a a big piece of flat PVC. You can cut it and then using hot air you can model it in the way you prefer, and you can use it as a cover. I put this cover like this during the off-road rallies in order to cover the electronics from the dirt that is coming from the front wheels. So if you have some problems covering the electronics or other mechanical parts, you can buy a piece of thin plastic, you can model it in the way you prefer, and then you're going to attach it on your car. Hi Dario, what tire is better for rally? I have rally blocks, but they wear out so fast. Also cheap is if possible. Okay, in my opinion, in this moment the best rally tires are the HPI Pirelli Soft Compound. They are amazing, they are so grippy, giving you amazing performances on almost all kind of stages, except for off-road. Okay, they are not let's say so cheap, but I'm able to do with them half season of rally, using them in an intense way. And about rally blocks, I suggest you to don't use them on the asphalt, because otherwise they are going to wear out quite fast, and use them just when it rains or in case on off-road stages. Hi, I want to start driving like you and make community in my town, but how can I do? Can you help me? Okay, maybe you can write in the comment section from which city are you from, and maybe someone else is going to notice you and is going to get in touch with you. Or there are some good Facebook pages like Tamiya RC Rally Club, and also Tamiya XV Nation. You can post there from which city you are from, and maybe some other guys with RC Rally passion are going to contact you. Hi Dario, the car I use spins so easy that I cannot drive fast corners, but on slow corner is okay. What can I do? Well, it's not so easy for me to answer to this question because I don't know which car you are using and the general setup. But in case, I suggest you to check if you're using a rear stabilizer, and in case, try to use the harder one. Also, another suggestion that I can give you is to try to lower degradation of the oil in the suspension. Maybe on the rear you are using too much thick oil and the suspension are not working in a proper way, and that's why your car is not able to keep the grip on the fast corners. How much important are the tires? The tires, in my opinion, are the most important part of your RC Rally car, because they are the thing that connects your chassis with the tarmac, or let's say with the ground. So if you are in the moment that you are trying to be competitive, try to find the best tires for yourself. I suggest you, as I said before, the HPI Pirelli soft compound tires. Can you suggest me a good motor for rally? I'm using a brushless sensored motor, which is the Hobbywing 17.5T. It's not a so powerful motor, but in my opinion it's okay, because in rally it's not that important to have a very powerful motor, because you have to be able to accelerate in a clean way exiting the corners, and you're not going to reach the top speed of your model, since in the stages there are a lot of corners. Which Tamiya chassis, in your opinion, is the best for rally out of the box? Currently, in this moment, in my opinion, the best chassis is the Tamiya XV01, because it's a kit that it comes immediately with good differentials, with suspension with oil, with very good steering angle and with a good ground clearance. So if you are searching something that you just take out of the box and you're ready to play, the Tamiya XV01 in my opinion is the best option. I know that now we have also the Tamiya XV02, but it costs a lot more, and it's something very new that I was not able to try in the proper way yet. So in my opinion, right now the Tamiya XV01 it's still a very good choice. Hi from Spain. For RC Rally, is better chassis Tamiya XV0102 or Tamiya TT0102? What you prefer? As I said before, my favorite chassis is the Tamiya XV01. Between the series XV or TT, it depends by how much money you want to spend. Of course, you can use a Tamiya, let's say TT02, but right after out of the box, you're not going to be able to use it for RC Rally, because the Tamiya 02 and 01, they have a low ground clearance and a small steering angle. So you have to work a lot in order to increase the steering angle and to increase the ground clearance. But if you buy a Tamiya XV01 or XV02, they are ready for doing rally out of the box. How much does a car like that cost to start? Well, a TT02 can cost around 100 euro. Meanwhile, a XV01 it costs 180 euro. Putting aside the cars, you have to buy the servo, the radio control, the battery and the battery charger. So you have to add, let's say, 70 euro to the cost of the car in order to start to play with a RC car. How can your setup handle the power from the brushless electronics? Well, I'm not using a so powerful engine because it's a 17.5, but I used to regulate the setting of the electronics from the ESC, let's say increasing the neutral moment, and also I do my best in order to have a good suspension setup in order to transfer the power from the wheels to the ground in the best possible way. Sei italiano? Sì, sono italiano, sono nato e cresciuto in Italia e poi mi sono trasferito in Polonia. Mia mamma è polacca, invece mio padre è italiano. I'd love to get into Czech RC Rally as a half Brit, half Czech. Who do I talk to? How do I become a member? Well, first of all, you don't need to become a member because you are free to take part in the events you like the most. Prior to that, of course, you have to register to the event on the website of the championship. I've been in Czech Republic for a few events. The information that I can give you is that you can search on Facebook Moravia Cup and Inter Cup. These are two of the many championships that are held in Czech Republic. You can try to contact them, and in this way they are going to help you to take part in one of their events. Do you have a basic setup that you change depending on the track, or do you always start from scratch? I mean, oil for shocks and differentials, stiffness of the springs, height camber and other things. I still have a problem that I don't know how changing something affects other settings. During the competition, I only try to change the camber settings if there is a lot of grip, but it doesn't always work. So let's put it like this. I have two basic setups. One for on-road rallies where I use shorter dampers, and one for off-road rally where I use longer dampers. Putting longer dampers or shorter dampers, I'm going to change a bit the camber, a bit the caster, and I think that's all. Talking about the differential oil, that is standard almost for all the season. During a rally, if I have some problems, I try to work a bit on the electronics. I mean changing the setups on the radio control, let's say the sensibility of the gas or the sensibility of the steering. But if I have problems during an event, honestly, I'm not changing a lot in the setup, because most of the time the problem is not the car, but it's me that is losing control, that is losing concentration, and I drive in a not so good way. And talking about the second part of your question about the cause effects of different changing in the settings, what can I tell you from my side is that I started 3 years ago without knowing nothing, and I tried to read as much as possible. I can suggest you to check the website EuroRC, because they have a section that explains the setups. It explains in a very short and easy way each changes, like how the differential oil is going to affect the handling of your car, how a soft spring works, and things like that. So if you're not able to find this section in EuroRC, write it here in the comments and I will try to link it to you. What made you dive into the world of RC races? Well, I think it's because I love motorsport and cars, and when I was a child my dream was to become a Ferrari race driver. Today I'm not a Ferrari race driver, but I'm a 1/10 scale driver on Sunday, which helps me to enjoy still today the passion for motorsport in a bit of a different way, but it's still something. Okay, that's all. This was the last question. I had a lot of fun answering to you. Thank you for submitting your questions, and I hope that you found interesting and useful my answers. I think that in the future I will do another Q&A. It's a good way for have a talk, and also for me to do, let's say, a brainstorming about the content of my channel. In fact, right now I had an idea that maybe during the winter I will do some videos that are going to explain how the change that you made on your car are going to influence the handling of it, like putting a very tight differential oil in the front, or hard springs, and so on. So thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching and being with me. See you next week with a new video. Ciao!